Welcome to the latest version of the AIC plugin that we have for IBM i2 Analyst Notebook. And if you're familiar with the previous version, there'll be some changes which are quite useful for you, and we're looking forward to showing you this in this video. When you open up IBM i2 Analyst Notebook, you'll note that there is a change now in the Home tab. You'll see a new set of options for you to select the plugin. There is the Anacapa matrix and the markup to chart. If you want to see a video of the Anacapa matrix, please go to the VA Worldwide YouTube channel. And for this, I'm going to show you the markup to chart plugin option, and we can select it here. And as with the previous version, you'll have a floating panel to utilize the plugin. But the changes we've made for this version is now we can actually lock it into the software. And if you hover with the left mouse button and drag it in, you'll see the option to lock it to or dock it to the Analyst Notebook software. And you can resize it accordingly depending on what you're looking to do. And as before, we have two options. We can search through web pages and through documents to add information to the chart. So I'll give it a quick demo of how to add some information to the chart. So we'll select a new search, this time for documents. And in the document store, we can add folders and documents here. I'm going to select one that I've previously loaded, and this will open up in the preview window. And as you can see, the documents now appeared, and if there were multiple pages, you'd see a list of pages on the left hand side, and you can select which ones. We also have the text find button as well, so if you're looking for a particular piece of text, then you can use the search option at the bottom left hand side as well. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some information from this document, and by selecting the text and dragging my cursor over that, right mouse clicking, I can add an entity. Now, one of the things we need to confirm as well is make sure there are no leading spaces before or after the text. So once you've selected the text that we want to do, we can choose an appropriate icon and click OK. And now you can see it adds to the chart. So I'm going to further add this information. I'm going to add the person who the owner of the company is to the chart as well. Same thing, right mouse click, add entity, just confirm, and you can see here there is actually a following space. I'm going to remove that, choose an icon and click OK. Now normally when we add entities we add links as well. So what I'm going to do is choose an appropriate piece of text for the link, in this case owner. Right mouse click, and this time the option is, as we had before, the add link, and we can edit this now. With this version we can add in various lines of text. So we can add as much information on that link label as we wish. Then we choose each entity A and B, each side. You can see it's highlighted there. And we can choose an appropriate link type. And as we had before, just as you do in Analyst Notebook, you can choose direction, which of course is very useful for commodity flows or call analysis or banking analysis. So I'll leave that straight as it is. Then we can have the strength of the link. In this case, I'll leave it as confirmed. We can change the link width and choose a color and click OK. So now we have that information pulled from the document, which is useful. Now remember, as we had before, if we double click on one of these entities now, the actual provenance of that information is now recorded in a card as we had before, so we know exactly where it was taken from, which is useful if you're doing something in legal space and you need to know where that information was resourced. Then you can have that information available in the cards. Now we may want to supplement some information that we have. For example, we may wish to show a photograph. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to add another search, and this time I'm going to go to an internet search. Now for the purposes of this demonstration, I've saved a favorite which we can record websites of interest, and opening up a website now gives us an opportunity to add some information. And we can see here we have a photograph of the person on the chart. So what I'm going to do is right mouse click on the photograph, and one of the options here is add entity to chart and choose picture. And I can now edit the area of the photograph that I'm interested in adding to the chart. Now you'll notice if you look at the chart, that the icon is already selected, and so it instantly then adds that photograph to the chart. And if I now double click on that again, and you can see this card list, we've got the first card, which was where we got the information of the person in the first place, and it's added another card, which is actually the hyperlink to the website that was sourced for the photograph. So again, another useful function added into the plugin. Now we've also added a very useful help file as well. So we click in the little question mark arrow at the top. Then we've got a whole heap of information about both the Anacapa matrix and the markup to chart, and there are various useful bits of information to note as well. The one thing that you are required to know is that this version of the plugin can only be used with version 9.2.1 and above. So the current version at the time of this release of the video is 9.2.2. So if you do need to access this plugin and you're not quite sure which version of Analyst Notebook you're on, then you can call your IT department, and if you're on the support, you can get the upgrade, which will enable you to use this plugin. So that's an overview of our very new latest release of the AIC plugin, version 2.0.2. And if you'd like some more information, then look at the end of the video for details of how to contact us.